Hey everyone, and welcome to my 2019 June plan with me. And this theme is going to be the moon theme with a hint of stars. Really, it's just supposed to be a moon theme, but I end up using a lot of stars throughout this, and I do that with a gold paint. As you see, this month is actually a little bit different than the previous months, and I'm actually doing a watercolor painting. I'll actually use bunches of watercolor paintings, but I'll only do the recording on the first 2 pages, which is my cover page, which I end up taking 2 pages just because I kind of want to expand the sky a little bit. So with this, I end up having to use a paper towel to kind of blot the page out so that I can add on more color. I did um, end up using this just basic indigo, not diluted by too much water, to darken up the painting a little bit quicker instead of having to do multiple layers. Call me lazy, I'm not, I'm just learning how to do watercolors, so I've got to learn the patience thing. And I know that I need to completely tape down all sides of my paper so that I can stop with the buckling. It didn't buckle too bad, actually. When I look back on it, it kind of flattened out, which is really good. Um, so I using the arson water, mixed media paper. I didn't really get watercolor paper because it's just too expensive, and I end up coloring in a lot. And I have this Corillo, I think it's what it's called, for the gold pigments, and I'll end up changing the type of gold throughout my journal. Just really simple. First page, and then moving on to the second page, and this page will have my moon itself as well as the word June on it. So I'm just spending my time, painting and coloring this all in. I think this is, so far, it's my favorite cover page I've done so far. I thought my last month's mask one was going to be my favorite and I couldn't beat it, but this definitely beats it. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to do this later in the year, but it just kept on like nagging at me, and I didn't know, I couldn't move my mind from it. So I was like, you know what? It's sticking in my mind, so the moon, you've got to be my theme this month. And I picked the moon instead of the stars or the skies because maybe later I might want to do a star theme or a planet theme or a sun theme. So I just stuck with just the basic moon to, variety later on and give me options that I won't be repeating the same exact thing. So again, I'm using my just a pure paint really with a little bit of water to darken up this section of a year, and then I'll end up having to lighten the edges around it. Um, I really didn't know what part I wanted to be the sky and what part I wanted to be the clouds, but the lighter color is the clouds, so it's kind of like the moon is the cloud. There's, wow, words. Um, the clouds are kind of moving behind the moon, which obviously is impossible, but whatever. It's art and I can do what I want. Um so I took my brush and I kind of like splattered a little bit, and then I um flicked it with my finger just to kind of make it look really random. And then I traced out the size of the moon that I wanted on the page. And I'm using this gold color to paint it in. Really bad that I got this gold because I looked on Amazon and saw that they have like a bunch of colors, metallic colors. I've had to stop myself from buying them all because it's like, I think this one was $21, and then they have a palette of 8, I think, for like 24 of the different metallics, and then they have like different themes. And I'm really trying not to buy it. So I'll just, let this dry, and then I will come back in and I'm gonna write June in here. That's all I really do on here, and then I'll just sign the bottom of this page here and a little block. And that's pretty much it for this cover page that I have. And then I gotta paste it in the book, obviously. Um, so yeah, I open up my book to this month's one, and I kind of just throw it in here. Speaking on favorite themes, I'm really fascinated with the night sky. I can't help it. It's like, I don't know if you go to an area in near you, I guess, or maybe not really near you, there might be, but if you get the chance to go to a place that has zero light pollution, I definitely recommend going there. There was a national park near me a couple of years ago when I went. It was in Florida. Um, and I went back over there and it was just absolutely beautiful. It was just like bright and just shiny, and the moon was out and beautiful. Totally getting on tangent. This is my monthly calendar. Speaking of favorites, this is my favorite monthly so far. As I say, so far. Maybe later I'll come across something that I like better. Um, and then I end up with a notes section on the side and a calendar section. I think each box is 4 by 4, and I end up getting another piece of watercolor that I've painted, or watercolor painting that I've cut out, and I put it for the days of the week. It's right here, so I'm kind of just measuring a little bit so I know where to cut it, and just wanted to make sure that it would actually fit. And I'm writing out my Saturday, Sunday, and I was gonna do them all separately, but I decided not to. And I just marked everywhere I needed to pretty much write in the days of the week, wrote them out, and I had to trim it because it was a little bit too big. And then I just stuck it. It kind of overlaps the top and the bottom of these pages, but it is what it is. When I write June up here at the top, I end up not liking it. So when we do our flip through, you'll see what I've done. I've actually taken another piece of painted watercolor paper. I'm just going to call it watercolor paper. Please know that it's mixed media paper. But yeah, I take that and I cover up where I wrote June because I didn't like it. I tried to do a block letter and kind of messed it up, but then I was like, it is what it is. Hey, so this month ends on a Sunday. That's totally awesome. Made doing this much easier so that I didn't end up with more space later on if I end up feeling that note section. I have another note section. Last month I didn't use my monthly section at all. I'm really going to try to use it this month. I'm definitely taking notes about things that I don't use in my bullet journal and adding and removing things. This month I do keep a mood tracker. I hated my mood tracker last month. It just looked like crap. I actually ended up skipping my habits and 30-day water challenge, which is the page after my monthly, and I knew what I wanted to do for these next 2 pages, so I got to skipped it and moved on to this section. So this is my mood tracker, and they're just a bunch of moons. I just draw these lines out. There are 30 of them, and I draw a moon on each of the lines, on the end of the line, so it just looks like a bunch of little hanging moons. Later on I go in with a gold marker pen kind of thing, and I just do little dots so that it makes it look like they're just little gold dots coming down on each of these lines, just a little extra decorative thing. I did use a tracer to trace in all of my moons because I make wiggly lines, squiggly lines, whatever, and it wouldn't have been straight or it wouldn't have looked good. And since I'm really excited about this theme this month, I wanted to make it pretty. So I have decided to use these tracers. I'll use them in everything. I'll use rulers, and I'm not ashamed to say that I can't draw a straight line for the life of me. It's time consuming, but it's worth it in the end for me. And I use the mood or my little key, and it's just that happy mood, productive mood, stressed, frustrated, and sad. I don't really get sad often, really, if ever. I don't know why I put that on there, but just in case it happens. Next month I'll probably change these up, try and figure out a mood. The other months I kind of just put like a face to kind of figure out what I wanted to say. But month we'll do it different. So this page right here, this page is gonna be my art challenge. So every day of the month, last year, did I do art every day? I didn't do art every day. So this month, I am challenging myself to do an art challenge. And in each one of these boxes, every day, I'll end up writing um a theme in there, and then I will either check mark it or I'll do something to indicate that I have finished this theme. So these boxes, I'll end up with lines to the top with the same little gold dots at the top. I end up doing that later. And really, this is me going backwards now. I could have switched this up in the video, but I kind of wanted to do it in the order that I actually drew these items. Um, and this is going to be my habit tracker. Instead of having 12 habits tracking this month, I have 6. Technically 8 because I have that art challenge one and then the 30-day water challenge as a my 2 of my trackers. So, I don't I didn't have any idea what I wanted to track because really as you should be doing if you have a bullet journal yourself, you should be evaluating every month at the end of every month or when you're creating your next month, what you're actually using, what's working for you, what isn't for you, and changing it up. Don't be afraid to keep it the same because you want it uniform throughout. The point is of a bullet journal, I think, is to watch yourself grow and kind of record that progress. So whatever doesn't work, definitely change it, fix it, adjust it, make it so that it does work for you. This layout of the calendar is what is really working for me when I am tracking things. But the things that I tracked last month, a lot of the things, it just didn't make any sense. My number one main thing that I do want to keep tracking, and I will always keep tracking, now that I started tracking it, is my migraines. Um, because I do, and then another thing adding to that, I'm gonna start tracking my meals because there is always a correlation between migraines and what you eat, and what you're doing. Like if you watch screens a lot and you have astigmatism, that's definitely gonna help give you more migraines. But I definitely want to keep track of it because I'm definitely trying to do no sugar, and only drink water. So that I want to see if that's going to limit the amount of migraines I have. I'm doing a lot of computer work with this business that I'm doing. I'm doing a merch collection, not really merch. I'm designing t-shirts and um I'm going to be doing some art and putting that on print to print on canvas or posters, however. Um and I will spend a lot of time in front of a screen. That's going to increase my migraines. So, tracking what I'm doing every single day and correlating with my migraines, perfect. That was a really long tangent on, on what I'm doing with my habit tracker. Um, really, and then you see, I did little moons on there and colored them in. And this next page is my 30-day water challenge. I end up cutting out a lot of this footage because it took forever to do these boxes. I did 8 boxes, really 9. boxes for every day so that I have a time to write what day it is, and then little small squares for each cup of water. So I have 8 cups of water to drink a day, and I just end up really hopefully having a completely full water track. I've learned to love water recently, and I realized my mistake. So if you're finding yourself struggling drinking water, don't drink cold water. You might get a bottle of water and have it cold. Don't drink it cold. It makes it a lot more difficult to drink. I know it burns more calories. Your body has to work harder to warm the water up when you drink it, but it becomes a chore, I think. And room temperature water is the best. I started drinking room temperature water, and I just can't stop. So, hint helpful. Hopefully that helps you if you're having problems drinking water. Um, Definitely try that out and let me know if that is something that works for you, because I don't know if it's just me or if it's you or not, you and everybody else, um and if you only can drink cold water, I definitely like to know that as well. So that's pretty much it for my water challenge. And this next page, this is going to be a weekly tracker and a daily tracker. It's really simple. I don't fill it out on this, and by the end of this video, I think I've only, when I do the flip through, I think I've only filled out a little bit of my daily AM, and none of my weekly plan is filled in. I had no idea what I wanted to do it. Finally fill it out, and when I post pictures on Instagram, you'll see it. You'll see what you know, what I'm tracking for myself, what schedule I really want to try and follow, so that maybe you can get a little bit of inspiration and think about what you want to do for yourself. I am a big fan of taking what somebody else is doing and putting in your own spin on it, or um I mean, not downright copying, but taking inspiration and things like that. As you saw, my monthly calendar, I definitely got that off of Instagram. Loved it. Um, so this is gonna be my brain dump page, and as you can see, I'm adding all of these watercolor pages on here. Please note, I did paint these. I didn't want to record it because I figured it would be a little bit tedious. Um, so I just, grabbed one. I have a big stack of them actually, so that maybe later on in my weeks I might want to add another piece of watercolor painting that I've done. And I just cut them out. Well, this one I tore the paper before I painted it, so that when I did paint it, it doesn't have any white edges on there. We're definitely thinking about that. Tear the paper before you paint it. Don't do it afterwards, because then you'll have to try and fill in all that white space. So that side is my brain dump, and I drew a little moon on there. This side is my business calendar. So I wanted to keep my regular calendar kind of different. I wanted to have a separate business calendar. I wanted to try to do something a little separate. Just because I am having my product launch on the 1st, which is tomorrow. Um, yeah. So my product launch is on the 1st, and I want to track how it's doing, what it's doing, and I want to do that on a separate calendar because I want to make sure I have promotions and I'm tracking that on there, and I want to fill in what I want to do for the month. I do need to go on my yearly calendar and kind of figure out what I want to do for the rest of the year, if I want to do another collection or two, things like that. It's going to take time, and I want to track it instead of just trying to fill it in. Then I have a little extra added note section at the bottom as well. And this is the final spread of the video, or the beginning of my month. I didn't do my last week's. In my last month, I didn't do my first weekly spread. I said I was going to do another video, and I just didn't. I've been slacking on this YouTube thing. I've been so busy trying to get this product launch up. But, it is what it is. And I decided to add it in here. And since I had already sketched it, knew what I wanted, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and record it. It was a couple of days later. As you can tell, my nails are actually done. I did it in this dark color, and that's probably going to change soon. I change my nails every week. I can't help it. It's a problem. Please let me know if somebody else is sharing the same problem, not only with the stationery, but with nail polish. That's another thing. And clothes. Oh gosh, clothes. Problems I have. So I did a little moon on top of every single day of the week, Saturday and Sunday. I'm really gonna try and make less work days, more rest days. Do a little cleaning in the morning, like just my weekly cleans, and then relax. Nothing really to bullet journal or do grocery shopping or something like that. Just spend the time doing that. I have a note section for the week at the bottom here. Drew a moon on the end of it. This is obviously our theme is moon. And then I had this whole bottom section on the left hand side that I needed to fill in. So I decided to do one for next week, items that I need to do for next week, and then just the extra space for notes about things that I want to do that week, extra things that won't work on that notes side. And then I do my little mini calendar as I do every single week on the bottom corner here. And I use this blue, what is it? It's a midliner. Wow, I had to think about that. The midliner pen, the zebra midliner pen. I use that, and it actually, that blue matches the blue that I painted my first, like that's on like my daily schedule and weekly schedule. It really matches that blue. And that's like a watered down indigo color is really what it ends up being. So I threw some stars on here just to add a little ambiance into this. I end up painting all that gold, and I put a quote in here that says, "Don't tell me the moon is shining, show me the glint of light on broken glass." And that is by Anton Chekhov. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. Hopefully I'm not butchering it, but that is the quote that's on here. It's kind of like, show me proof is really what it's saying. Just don't take what you hear take what you hear at face value, find out the facts, get proof of everything. Pretty much what that quote is. I'm coloring this in, and I end up doing a blue with that same blue midliner. I end up doing a drop shadow. I'm doing a drop shadow on all these boxes. I didn't record it because it was kind of an afterthought later on, but you'll see it on my flip through that I do here. Pretty much we're really nearing the end here, so I'm just coloring in this old gold, and I'm trying to not mess up the rest of this gold because it is a gel pen. It takes a while to dry. And I made a little box here on each of them because I was like, okay, my theme is blue. This page is pretty much all gold. Let me add some of that blue in here. So I'm writing the blue, and then I will write in a darker blue the days of the week in a block letter format, kind of. And then I'll write with a white gel pen, the Uniball Signo. I'll write my days of the week, and that is pretty much it. So this is the flip through of my book. So you'll see some of the changes that I went ahead and made. The first page didn't change at all. I didn't add anything to it. This is my second page. Nothing added other than a couple of items that I needed to add on my calendar. My habits and water tracker pretty much stays the same. I don't know if you can see it, but those are the gold dots and the lines that I added on the art tracker and my mood tracker. I started to fill out this. It's filled out now. You can definitely check out my Instagram to see what it looks like whenever I decided to post that. Business calendar, I did mark out my launch day. And finally, this is my weekly spread. So that's it. Thanks everybody for watching so much. Please let me know anything in the comments below, and have a great day.